All right, folks, welcome in. So real quick, before we talk about the group standings, this matchup, if Hera is able to get to the Golem, can be incredibly strong. So I wanted to check the backstone here. I think Hera, with the Civ draft in mind, tries to go for a bit of a counter pick to have the potential to go for the Golems. He does have the stone in the back. Here's the groups. Hera is first place in the group. I asked Chad earlier, is there anyone who's going to go undefeated? And we got two answers. One of them was Hera, who's 6-0 right now. Chat was also saying Leary, who's 9-0 in another group. We have never had anyone go undefeated in TTL, though. Not in any league. There's always at least 1 or 2 losses, even if a player's been dominant. Every win counts. Hera wants to maintain first place in a very difficult group. And we'll have our play all 3. 2 teammates, 2 good friends meet each other here. I think Hearttt has just had a really tough time having confidence against Hera. If they played against each other, usually the first game dictates a lot, and usually that first game has gone to the Canadian. But Heartt's really good. And when I look at that group, I'll just pull it up again. Right now, I'm predicting Hearttt and Winchester might be over Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo only has 4 wins after 3 rounds. If Hearttt can snag a win or 2 today, and then, of course, he's already played Hera, who knows what will happen in rounds 4 and round 5. But I think even if you were to ask Hearttt, he might not necessarily agree that there's a confidence issue, but it's hard for me to believe that there has to be a confidence issue when up against Hera when you know someone so well and he knows you so well. And that's part of it for me with the Civs. It's like, did Hera just straight up know that this was going to be the Civ choice for Hearttt, and did he want to have this matchup? The other part of it, the Hindustanis are completely fine against other Civs, so you can play Camels against good Knight Civs. So I guess like maybe Hera picked it with kind of that in mind, but Golem is an anti-eagle, anti-archer unit, and Mayans pretty much only go archers and eagles. So I'm not saying Hera can go fast castle into Golems. I don't think that's Hera's style. But certainly Heartt's going to have to respect that. Hearttt sees the villager. Hearttt will go for the fight here. And he'll try and get the villager kill. This would be a nice start for him. He would sacrifice his eagle. I like that energy. That's good energy if the last time you played him in a tournament he beat you, and if the 3 times before you played him in a tournament he beat you, snipe the villager. You're already up a villager as the Mayans. Some players would say they wouldn't take that because now you don't have the scouting intel. But I think we see Hera has 2 on wood. You know he's not going for the other build we were discussing. And now maybe you follow it up with a little bit more pressure here. So Hindustanis have cheaper villagers, but right now Hearttt will be a villager up. And it should be 2 villagers up for Hearttt once both players get loom and everything. But actually, you know what Hera should do now? Well, okay, bad timing. I was going to say Hera should skip loom. But he sees the barracks, and yeah, you probably don't want to skip loom if you know there could be some military coming forward. Yeah, I think technically skipping loom would make sense because your opponent doesn't have a way to threaten you. But yeah, I don't think we're going to have... I don't think Hera will go undefeated in the group. Hera might win the season. He might get first place in the group. I predicted him to get a lot of wins. But Hera's got to play hard right now. He's got Sizcon, who might have something to prove. Obviously, Sizcon is the underdog there. And then you have Winchester. And again, we've had some really dominant seasons, whether it be Winchester when he won the 1 season, Hera, Viper, all the winners have played well, but undefeated's tough. Going 15-0 hasn't happened yet. And villagers will come out to the side here for Hearttt to take the hunts. He's got the barracks up. He'll add the militia. Hera scouting around right now, but he didn't scout the sides. So he hasn't checked that so far. And I think Hera, expecting the militia to be coming forward, will be going for archers. And yep, there go the militia. But not really where you'd want to be for Hera. Vil count will be 2 down against the Mayans. And both Civs can play archers pretty nicely here. T90, how much are you willing to bet behind that opinion? All right, set the number. Another retired gamer. Let's go. I'm sure chat would love to be witnesses to this. Let's go. Set the number. Let's have a combo. It just, I mean, it'd be really good for TTL if no one ever has been undefeated, right? So, like, right now, that's the situation. You slip up once in a group that has Yo, Hearttt, and Winchester, and you drop a game. So, I'm still pretty confident that we won't have anyone go 15-0. The one I'm not really sure on, I think Leary has had some of his toughest tests already. The Hera facing hard here. Winchester coming up later. It could kind of be difficult. Hera getting the walls up now against the man-at-arms. Nice quick walls. But, again, 2 villager lead for Hearttt. Nice harassment. Hera's just opening archers, which is fairly defensive. And Hearttt is through. Behind this, Heartt's looking pretty good. I think the fact that he's taking this food right now and there's no real mobility for Hera to go pressure that, or the fact that Hera hasn't scouted either side is pretty telling. Because typically that's what you would have. You would have some recognition that the units are out there. That's a big aspect of the map that Hera's basically ignoring for now. Well, Hera's scout will move forward to find the range. He's double checking there. But Heartt's got full control right now. 1-1 on the KD. Mycrid, the AoE time runs at a different speed, which can be really confusing. But it runs at 1.5 times speed. 1.5 real time. So, oh god! Where's another retired gamer at? He didn't even respond. Oh, he said 50k salmon. Okay, so 50k salmon. For those that don't know what 50k salmon on this channel ends up, you know, what the currency exchange is there. 50k salmon is the equivalent of 5 million salmon, which is also the equivalent of 8 billion salmon, which is $0. Okay, he says 15 subs. All right, I'll take the bet. Worst case, I'm wrong. You're right. And then people in the community who've been around and supporting TTL get 15 subs. If that's what he said, I'll take it. Just remind me. I thought you said, I thought you were just joking with the channel points there. I think that's worth it. Guys, I mean, Hera's got the reputation. Hera's got this force behind him, right? Like, if he because he hasn't lost, because he doesn't lose, because he's beaten Hearttt so consistently that everyone expects him to turn it around. But Hearttt has had this perfect start here. Hera's done no counter damage. Hera will chase this down. Hera's economy is not looking all that good. He's only on 4 farms, and he hasn't been able to take any resources on the side. Heartt's playing super clean. He's got more farms than even Hera does. He'll make skirms. He'll make eagles. If he can continue on with the eagles and the archers here, I think he'll like his position. But the issue for me is he didn't really continue with the eagle production, and he will lose this eagle to the scout. Yeah, he loses it. But, I mean, now Hera's scout is not really much of a factor. Really clean play from Hearttt. Hearttt told me, and this was a couple weeks ago, but Hearttt told me that he's really confident for this season. That he feels he can deliver a great level, and that he's confident even with his group. And to move forward when he saw Hera had fully upgraded skirmishers to now pressure Hera is really bold. If Hera was waiting here defending, this would have been really nice defense for Hera, but Hearttt just, fortune favors the bold, and he kills 2 more villagers. Hera's counterattack right now is just well, I guess the skirmishers are coming home, but it's just the weak scout. They'll take the trade here. Hearttt will get the trade off against the archers. That's fine. You lose 3 archers, and you end up losing 2. And Hera's archers ended up clearing up the man-at-arms. The man-at-arms died on the right side. But nice play from Hearttt here. Hera has not done anything aggressive this game. Like, typically when he plays against Hearttt, he plays pretty offensive, but I think he was just reacting to the man-at-arms. He will end up getting close to the eagle there. I think the one weakness for Hearttt was he wasn't continuously producing eagles. The eagles do produce pretty slow. So he does have to be careful, but things are trending towards Castle Age for him. And this is where you look at Hera and feel like he's going to start to turn it around. When his back gets pushed up against the wall, he's normally able to sort it out, but in the end, he's going to lose his archers. He'll take a trade against some of the archers from Hearttt. And you know, maybe now's the time where Hera has to think about stone. But Woodline's looking pretty brutal. He'll need a new Woodline soon. And Hearttt still has a lot of army, and Hearttt will still be in Castle Age at a good time. Healing up the Eagle inside of the town center. This Hearttt will also need a new Woodline, but Heartt's going to click up. So what do you make here? Yeah, you make Golems. There's the answer. This is potentially why Hera picked this Civ. It wasn't necessarily because of the opening. The Civ doesn't have any bonuses that he's used here beyond the cheap villagers. But Golem is the danger. And Golem can bring you back. Now, I'm surprised. I feel like Hera should be walled right now. He knows Hearttt has army. There's no follow-up army from him. So now Heartt's here to pressure, and he has to drop some gates and just really last-minute reactions. Hera also doesn't have double bid-axe. So without double bid-axe, the eco hasn't been as efficient. Heartt's up. If Hearttt makes it to Castle Age, he could potentially stop the castle if he gets through here. So he's got 2 barracks, though. Second barracks is a little late. But it's still going to be slow production. And yeah, he just simply didn't know that Hera would be wide open over here. There is still a hole. Hera knows that there's a hole there, but will Hearttt know there's a hole there? Hearttt is never going to assume that Hera has left this open. Hera already left a big gap once. He's not expecting Hera to have a gap there again. Hera's bringing the other Vill. Range units for Hearttt are getting sniped. That's good work from Hera. Made just enough archers and skirmishers to snipe the archers back there. Feels like Hera will get the castle. If he gets the castle without losing any Vills, very winnable game. Yeah, Hera's just backing off here. Now, a couple things. Hera doesn't have a market. His Woodline's still kind of brutal. So with no market, he won't be able to insta-buy the castle right now. Units have actually made it through. Hearttt will hit Castle Age in 10 seconds, which gives the Eagle 7 base attack. Hera needs walls here. If he loses 6 villagers and then gets the castle, this could be really bad. Quick walls for Hera. Nice quick walls. Still, these are villagers with stone in their hands. He still doesn't have enough for a castle. Heartt's pressuring. Hearttt knows now it's going to be Golems. The Eagles get through. The Eagles get through. That's so bad for Hera. That's so bad. That should be a couple Vills dead. Okay, he will drop the castle here. But he's lost 5 villagers this game against the Mayans, which already start with the additional Vill. Chat is excited because they are about to get 15 subs from another retired gamer. Hera is struggling here, game number 1. He's usually inevitable, but Hearttt is a serious player, and Hearttt kills the 8th villager there. Okay, but like, now Hearttt needs to brace himself. Hera knows this is bad. Hera's eco is completely, it's a massive mess right now. I couldn't even think of another word. But the first Golems are going to have to come this way to clear. Really messy, though, for Hera. You'd expect a palisade wall or something there. 9 villagers down now. And Heartt's got the right idea. Heartt's gone to stone. So he's going to plan for his own castle at home by the time the Golems get over there. Guys, if the player names were reversed, would we be seeing a lot more GGs in chat? Be honest with me. If the player names were reversed, I'm pretty certain all of chat would have said GG like 5 minutes ago, right? Can we all just be honest? And I'm the same. I'm the exact same because I've seen Hera bring it back, and I've also seen the Civ matchup. That's just the luxury of being the favorite, is that's typically how people see it. But Hearttt just keeps playing so well. And Hera still can't take the fight with the Golems yet because there's still so many Eagles here. Like, Hearttt has just continuously pressured him. He sniped the first villager. And he went in for more raids. And it will have a castle at home. Guys, Golems are pretty good here. But plumed archers have the mobility to compete. And plumes do have that extra bonus damage against infantry, which can save the matchup. And Hera getting eco upgrades he didn't have yet. He will take the fight. Now, because his units do pass-through damage, Hearttt should never stack like that. That was a big mistake. You never do that against Golems. Golems get pass-through damage. And obviously, pass-through applies to every unit if all your units are stacked on top of each other. And Hera's going to trap this army. He will kill this army. He's 10 villagers behind, but now he's got Golem. A unit that has bonus damage against eagles and also is great against archers. So Hera should push this back now. So again, there's some positives for Hera. He's got a big army. It's a really good matchup for him long term. Hearttt will have an uphill climb as far as that's concerned. Second TC now for Hearttt. Honestly, I think if Hera didn't have the score lead right now, and that's mainly due to a lot of scouting from Hera, I think that Hearttt would be feeling a lot better, but this will start to get a little bit nerve-wracking. Again, Plumes, they have that +1 bonus damage against infantry bonus, which is really important here. So instead of it being, when Hera gets to 5 pierce armor, the Plumes will be doing 1 more damage than any other archer would. Or not 1 more damage than any other archer would, because some archer units have more base damage, but 1 more damage than showing. And the castle's up. I've seen Mayans win this matchup before through better economy and plumed archers. But Hera will drop the second TC. So it won't just be all in from him. He also has the monastery. Maybe we'll think about some relics. Really important for Hearttt to be fully walled, which he is. So yeah, the plumes, instead of, they're doing 7 damage right now against the 4 pierce. So that would be, they're actually doing 4 damage a hit because of the bonus damage. There's a hole there for Hearttt, which Hearttt will need to notice. And if he doesn't notice it, yeah, I was going to say, if he doesn't notice it, that's horrible. Eagles also, when you get to El Dorado, Eagles are all right. El Dorado is a really expensive tech. Every plumed archer is extremely valuable here. Takes some time to mass up these range units. Heartt's still backing up. But maybe Hera able to reboom back into this game. 15 villagers down. Second TC's on the way. And there's full armor now. So he'll have that upgrade in a second. University for Hearttt. Again, super clean, fully walled. Double checking his holes. Make sure there are no holes. About to go for 2 castles as well. I think he just needs ballistics. Not having ballistics is so painful against fast units. Hera, if he breaks through, can make up the Vil deficit pretty quickly here. But yeah, even with the armor, I think the plumed archers can compete. The thing is, the plumes are a bit slower, it seems. Which I didn't actually realize until now. I thought plumed archers were always the same speed. It kind of looks like the same speed. I don't know how the plumed archers aren't able to run faster when they're so light and they don't have any armor like the golems. But yeah, ballistics is on the way. Hearttt only lost 1 unit. And Hearttt, oh my god, Hearttt gets the house wall. I actually looked away for a second. That's insane. Wait! It's no longer called El Dorado? What? Oh my god, dude. It's not called El Dorado anymore? They call it Hulkins now? Man, I saw a comment from someone and someone was like, well, technically it shouldn't be called El Dorado. That is so historically incorrect. And I remember thinking, I was like, well, even if it is historically incorrect, like I kind of like it for the history of the game. And I was like, thank God the devs didn't change that. Apparently they did. Apparently they did. Hulkins. All right. Well, ballistics is in. I'm glad I double-checked that. And it's 18 golems against 19 plumed archers, but Hearttt is feeling pretty confident. The fact that he hasn't placed a second castle yet tells me he might be thinking about a forward one. That would be a bit ambitious for me. Hera's booming his way back into the game. But Heartt's plumes will melt these now. It's a weird unit interaction, but now, like, plumed archers with good micro completely wreck these golems. Hearttt snipes some villagers. Hera's hoping for an area to attack. Hearttt might have overextended, but he's two-shotting these right now. Hera tries to get his units in between the plumes. Hearttt will drop a castle back at home on the left side to secure the map. Hera needs to clear this right now. If he doesn't clear this, this could end up getting kind of dangerous. And honestly, he's doing a pretty good job. And also, good luck, Hearttt, because there's a town center here. There's a leftover skirmisher here. Oof. Oh, man. Oh, man. Hera drops a couple gates, which affect the pathing. Hera will drop a couple more gates, which affect the pathing. I feel like Hearttt should have just kept his plume mass alive With the plumes being slower, that's dangerous. But we do have more plumed archers over here. And Hearttt did give himself a lot of time to secure the edge of the map. So that's good. There's also a second castle for him to produce plumed archers. Nice hold from Hera. I'm telling you, man, if Hera brings this game back... I mean, Hearttt doesn't really know how big a lead he had, I guess. He doesn't know what we knew. Hera's had the score lead the whole time. There's different factors. But if Hera brings this game back, he's obviously winning the series, right? Like, I feel like this is going to be maybe the weakest game from Hera in this series. Well, Hearttt drops TC number 3. Hera's been on 3 town centers for a while. And 26 on food for Hera is pretty good. Sneaky TC over here. That's pretty good. Controls the woodline and the golds. The area that he's town centered over here has the stone. The other gold would be over on the right. But Hearttt has seen that this is the farming eco. Hera's so good at that, expanding that farming eco. But I mean, I don't know, man. There's plumes sparked on it. He needs to fight all the time. And Golems cost food and gold. If Hearttt can keep his plumes alive, if Hearttt can be an imp with even more upgrades, he's got a real timing. But he might overextend again. Hera's Golems are here, and you just can't get away from this many Golems. It's the second time for Hearttt. Again, he's got the map control behind this, but here we go again from the other direction, and Hearttt is like, no! No, dude! Oh... You know, Hearttt needs to show some patience. It's extremely difficult to play this matchup. He does have plumes headed this way to raid, but Hera will even kill those. Again, I think Hera picked the Hindustanis for this unit. He just needs to have the recognition that he doesn't necessarily need more of them and that he can wait for Imp. If he can wait for Imp now, it becomes really difficult. Elite plumed archers do get additional bonus damage. They do get +2 damage against infantry, but then Golems and Imp can just get better stats. So, oh god, Hearttt. Oh god, oh no, oh no. This isn't walled. Arson is in. There is the other castle there, but Hera might just go for the vills anyways. Hera does not care anymore. He dives in. He kind of patrol stacks through. He'll kill the villagers. He'll lose a couple Golems, but that's super worth it for him. And Hera's eco is flying behind this now. 5 villager lead. He will drop a castle on the left. That'll be a second castle for Golems. And just waiting to see if Hearttt can get the plume archer number up. It is just a horrible matchup. And it's a horrible matchup, especially if Hera has the relics, right? If Hera has the relics and has the gold on the right side secured, I don't see how the Mayans really do it. The plumed archer is still your best option, but you need those units to stay alive. He's just overextended. Okay, he's up now. Hera has 3 minutes to hold. Hera's microing as best as he can to getting close. But Heartt's got 3 castles, guys. There's no guarantee that Hera's going to have these Golems any longer. I mean, and a lot of time with Bracer and Chemistry. That tree gets in the way. But Hera's Golems will engage. And this is not easy for Hera. Now, he's got a lot of food. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to have the stone for more castles and if he's going to have the gold. Again, Hera should know this, but maybe he doesn't. You have a stone side, which he took, and then you have a gold side, which he hasn't secured. Hearttt is going for the double outpost. Double vision, folks. You heard it here first. Hearttt comes to the left side. Sees the castle. Didn't expect that. But there might be some ways to find some damage. Hera is starting to stack towers wherever he can, because he knows these plumed archers are going to be problematic, and he just needs to wait. Tower in the back. Tower with Bodkin now. There will eventually be guard towers, and Hearttt needs to use his imp advantage. He doesn't want to wait, so he'll dive. I think it's worth it for Hearttt, unless he gets trapped. If he gets trapped, it's horrible. Oh my god. For a second, or maybe even third time, Hearttt dives. And Hera... I don't know. He's still taking damage. He's still taking damage over here. Heartt's killed a lot of eco with this. Heartt's killed 31 eco this game. Heartt's still pressuring this area, which Hera hasn't noticed. And Hera still only has 20 Golems without a lot of gold secured if he can't take this gold on the front. Now elite plumed archers on the way for Hearttt. Okay, Hera notices now. Yeah, you're just kind of like... I can't be too critical of anything Hearttt has done there, because you're trying to Control the game. Force Hera to react. Idle time is still big if Hera garrisons, but you got to get out of here now, dude. Yeah, Hera's got Elite Golem on the way. So the beauty of Elite Golem... So the Civ doesn't get the final armor with infantry, but Elite Golem adds the Pierce armor in for you. So I think it's 8 Pierce. I have to double check. I believe it goes up to 8 Pierce armor against 9 damage. But then there's also the +2 attack that the Plumed Archers have against infantry. So yeah, 8 Pierce armor. I saw Viper win this before, but Viper had 50 plumes with a meat shield of eagles. Like, it's pretty much all about getting to enough range units. If you have even numbers, you just never beat the Golems here. The Hera isn't aware, though, that Heartt's taking a lot of the stone and gold on the front. Heartt continues to go in. Like, Heartt's really confident. Heartt keeps going in. Every time I expect him to not, he keeps going back in. And it's hurt him sometimes, but it's working here. Big raids over there. He sees that Hera's going for a raid over on that side. But Hera loses all of his stone miners there. Again, I said in Dark Age, I said 2 minutes in, this is kind of an impossible matchup if it goes late game. So the fact that Heartt has given himself a chance is amazing. Maybe he can win. Hera did get this castle up, though, which gives him that gold and gives him some just this perfect line of defense. The Heartt's pretty well defended as well, but he needs quick walls. He'll try with the gates and some walls. The Golems are just standing around for Hera, and he doesn't get through. Hera's still chasing plumes. Maybe plumes can do it. The thing about ranged units, too, is if you keep... It's much easier to keep them alive. Melee units, especially infantry units, they get picked apart pretty easily. I'd love to see Heartt show some patience here. And wait till he gets 50 plumed archers, stack up the castles, make it so Hera has to take down his castles with trebs. Hera can't really do that. What a game, guys. I know Hera's got the reputation. I know people seem to think that he can never lose because he's 6-0 so far, but this is called the Group of Death for a reason. Heartt's playing like a beast. He sees Hera will go for a raid on the left. Hera sees the castle foundation, which he should attack. Heartt delete. Okay, Heartt deletes it. Heartt's still just chasing down the units back here. Heartt stacked up on all the gold in the middle, which Hera can't take right now, and always has another group of plumes headed towards Hera. And there's another castle from him, too. I feel like Heartt really would want the north. Hera's currently denying that. But, like, when you have the middle, and there is a lot of stone and gold there, it's kind of okay to give that up. Villagers will go back to work there. Okay. It happens to them too, guys. It happens to them too. Castle over here for Heartt. That castle should go up. Plumes are still microing nonstop. Villagers are still having a little standoff. They just crap themselves. They'll run away from the Golems. Heartt backs up towards these castles. And Hera will see the castle here, which he could easily deny. And he will deny it. Man, there's so much happening, but I think Heartt takes that trade. Mayans don't need that many villagers. So I think that's kind of okay with him. He could still get back to complete the castle. He's building up his plumed archers numbers. There's a lot of plumes now. Hera will have the relics, though. He'll actually get 5 relics. A little bit surprised. Maybe Hera will get it, but I feel like getting Grand Trunk Road to make your gold income increase would be nice here. He's still killing more vills, but... Again, it's 130 villagers for Heartt. That's fine. As long as he doesn't lose the plumes, he'll always have more villagers to complete the castle. And here he comes. God, I mean, these Golems are so dangerous, though. Heartt needs more walls over here. I still haven't seen a single treb this game. We've been in Imp for like 15 minutes, and players are just playing full unique unit. And okay, there it is. Now, they didn't change the cost of this, right? So what used to be El Dorado is now is it Hulkins? Yeah, it's something like that. They changed the name to be more historically accurate. That adds extra HP to the Eagles. It's incredibly strong. And if you have El Dorado Eagles with plumed archers in front, I think the Mayans have the better comp. But it really just comes down to how much gold you have. Heartt is running dry. He does have that gold, though. I don't agree, by the way. Like, Hera's massing Ghoulems. He's made a lot of Ghoulems. The problem is they're just getting picked off. I mean, both play... It's the same thing for the Plumes. So we haven't seen 50 Plumes just because they've been so active in engagements. It's really hard when the players are this active in fights to really be able to get to that mass. I'm liking what I'm seeing from both, though, guys. It's going to come down to one big fight, honestly. But Hearttt needs to get that tech. If you don't get that unique tech, you might as well not even switch to Eagles here. The Ghoulems have bonus damage against Eagles. It's incredibly strong. But the HP difference can make all the difference. The attack upgrades can make all the difference. Heartt's going to start to get pressured here. Could easily overextend into an engagement before he's ready. That is double Archer counter. Elite Skirmisher with full upgrades and Ghoulems. Yeah, Heartt's getting the upgrade now. I think you just give up this castle. You repair it to give yourself time, and then you give it up. Oh, man. I don't even know. Can you raid with the Eagles? Because if you raid, Hera's got castles everywhere. Hera's so well defended right now. The plumed archers are sitting inside the castle. The Eagles are here. You know, the Ghoulems have come this direction. Hera's sending the Ghoulems out of position, and here comes Hearttt. He gets the upgrade. He needs to snipe the Trebs, though. Maybe not. Maybe he takes the fight so he can clear out the skirms. He's sinking repairs into that. His skirms are going to disappear. There's still the fight over here where Hearttt is going to lose pretty badly unless he backs away. The Eagles are still in there. The castle is still up. Hera's lost a Treb. I don't know. It's looking so much better for Hera, though, guys. The Ghoulems and the skirms just seem to be so strong, and Elite Eagles so expensive. This is double gold comp. If you go Eagles and plumed archers against a pretty cheap composition, Hera's got 5 relics. He's got the Ghoulems, which is gold, and then the skirmishers is just food and wood. Hearttt needed that fight to go much better. I would have liked to see him just give up the castle, personally. Like, I'm not really certain what that position defends for you. I guess maybe he would lose this gold if he loses that fight. Worth noting that Hearttt didn't have the attack upgrades for his Eagles either. But he will have it here. Still could use Blast Furnace. Still think the Ghoulems are going to be cost-effective. The Hera having the 5 relics against 0 is insane. Hearttt will run out of gold soon. He's sending it. He's pushing it. But I'm not seeing the Q. I don't think he has enough Eagles. I don't think he has enough Plumes. And I don't know if the units are necessarily strong enough either. It's really tough to judge, though. When the players stay in the fight like this, you think that, like, they both think they're going to win the fight, right? I think maybe Hearttt feels like he has to take this fight just so he can saturate this gold right now. Is it working? The plumed archer micro has been insane. Blast Furnace is 50 seconds away. He does only have 1 Treb, though. I feel like 1 Treb is a really big issue. You're never going to take down a castle with 1 Treb. Hera will always have an opportunity to snipe. There's no raids or anything. Full focus on this area. But Hearttt will run out of golds. Hera will not run out of golds. At least when it comes to the 5 relics. Hera just focusing down those plumed archers. He forces Hearttt away. Hera should take the trebuchet, and Hera will take the trebuchet. It took a while. Hearttt finally has full upgrades on the Eagles. But I think it's too late. Hera's held on. In classic Hera fashion, down 20 villagers. But man, he picked the matchup that would put him in a landslide situation in the Imperial Age, and he just played to it. I mean, this could mentally defeat Hearttt because it felt like he had such a good start. I just don't see how he can do anything now. His gold back here, so he's got 2K, but 2,000 gold is going to disappear very quickly if you're just making Eagles. I still don't think it offers you an easy solution against the Ghoulems. And it's tough. Like, should Hearttt have made Trebs? I'm not so sure. Should he have changed? Should he have gone Plumes? Absolutely. It's not like he didn't do a lot of damage before Hera got to the castle, but the Ghoulems just completely wreck here. Hearttt is out of steam. Hearttt has 11 military, and Hera's got 50. And I think with Heartt's population right now, I think he's going to be forced to call the GG. Hera will remain undefeated. I don't want to call it too early, but I mean, I don't know what else you do. That's what Hera wanted on the draft. He knows Hearttt. They're teammates and they're friends. They probably talk draft all the time and they train together. I know that. So I think from Hera's perspective, he looked at Heartt's draft and said, okay, he's going to play Mayans there. And clearly it was tough in the early game, but if you get to the Golem, it just gets so difficult for the Mayans to be able to win. And we simply reached that stage. Beautiful stuff from Hera. Wins the first game. You hope for Hearttt that it doesn't break him. He clearly showed a lot of potential. If that is just a complete Civ win, hopefully Hearttt can snag some wins in the next 2 games. But yeah, that's just kind of what you felt could happen. So GG. What a game. The level for these two is extremely high, guys. The KD was even. The KD's even, but I think the cost is not. You look at the golds collected for Hearttt, it's so much higher. I don't know how much a Golem costs. I'll have to double check that, but I know the Eagle at least is really heavy on the gold cost. I still think in Castle Age, if Hearttt would have conserved his plume numbers, then he would have had like 50, 60 plumes. It's tough because to get ahead of Hera, you have to do damage, but he kept running in and he kept losing units. Maybe had he just camped at home next to his castles, which is maybe something Hera would do in his situation. Play defensive, then get to Imp. If you have the bigger number and the bigger mass, maybe you can win the game there. But yeah, Hera, relics were huge. The fact that he got relics in every corner of the map was really nice. Very underrated. He had a rough start, guys. That might be the weakest we see Hera in the series. And here we are, game number 2. We've got Romans for Hera, and we've got Japanese for Hearttt. Okay, so the previous game was pretty landslidey in terms of the Civ matchup, right? And I'll point it out again, but Hera's Civilization draft was pretty spot on. He picked Hindustanis last. I think he looked at this. He thought it would be Japanese for Hearttt on this map. Probably Vietnamese or maybe Vikings on Stranded, which will be game number 3 regardless now. And then, yeah, he guessed that it would be Mayans and went for Hindustanis and obviously worked it out. But I think this matchup's a bit closer. And there's a lot of stages of the game where Civs become strong and weak here. Hera brought the scout forward very early. You can lame on this map. You're right next to each other, and sometimes the boars are kind of forward. Somebody did that. I forget which league, but smart. I think actually it was Hearttt. Hearttt did it. Yeah, Hearttt did it against somebody in the previous rounds. I forget who at this point, and yeah, Heartt's actually here. But usually once the boars are brought in, this map is dominated by the shorefish. And because the food income is so prevalent there, and because it's so fast, you tend to see a lot of man-at-arms. Japanese infantry attacks faster. Roman infantry has additional armor. I think Japanese is slightly preferred there. But Romans have the 5% greater efficiency upgrade, which feels like it's even beyond that when you incorporate shorefish. So I think for Hera, he just wants to defend the early game, somewhat similar to the previous game. Don't take any early damage, and if you do that, you feel you have the better position here. I think with certain players, if they have that efficiency and they're already super efficient, they play low risk Age of Empires, and it should be pretty good. T90, does Hera have a kryptonite? Well, we kind of saw it. No one likes to believe it'll work, but in the previous game, we saw the kryptonite. That was a situation where Hera got bailed out by a really OP unique unit in a very specific matchup. Like, Hera is vulnerable in early ages. Occasionally, he's very greedy. Occasionally, he feels he can defend with low army, and he can't get punished, and Hearttt is one of the best with punishing, so... That was just a unique one. Like, there's very few Civ matchups in the game, as Hera forces the garrison there. Very few Civ matchups in the game that are going to be quite like that. But I think Hearttt will have to make use of his timings. Because the cheap mills, the cheap mining camps, the cheap lumber camps for the Japanese, that's all early game bonuses. That is nothing like 5% greater efficiency for the Romans. And the more I look at this, the more I feel like Hera might just expect the man-at-arms and playing towards archers. 2 on wood has me a little confused. Old school play would be to go scouts here. I mean, Hera won't have man-at-arms himself, at least. What would Japanese do against Roman Scorpions? Well, Scorpions are slow, so you can use mobility, and you could play Cav Archers here with Mangonels. So then I think the Romans would have to play basically their own Mangonels. But yeah, Hera's 17 pop up. I think this is similar to what he did in the previous game. I think he's going to go heavy on wood. And then he'll basically abandon everything from food except for these two vills. And he's going to go to gold for archers here. Yeah, he's going to abandon the food. He has enough food for vill production. He wants double bit axe. He knows that the man-at-arms are going to be coming in because it's Japanese, and that's what everybody does. Probably needs to look for the barracks. But should be man-at-arms from Hearttt, and Hearttt is on the way up as well. What are the blue squares? Fish and occasionally a turtle. So there's some turtles. It's all the same, though. It's just really fast form of food income. You think about a farm will give you a couple hundred food. It's 60 wood investment. Only one villager can work on it. But here you invest 100 wood, or with the Japanese, it's even less. It's 50 wood. And then you have 800 food around the mill, and it comes in much faster than a farm. So usually, players only go through strategies that mean that they're heavily saturating the shorefish. If you don't take the shorefish or the box turtles on this map, you're not going to have a very efficient eco. I think in Hera's case, since Man-at-Arms is definitely coming, he's going to get archers first, and then once he has archers, he can move out to the shorefish and maybe counterattack Heartt's side. But I've seen this, and I've tried this before. I've tried the exact thing that Hera is trying to do. But I will tell you, this is not Arabia, and you need to have something than just archers, because on a normal map, the man-at-arm player has a weaker economy because they can't go for skirmishers as well as the man-at-arms, as well as the upgrades. But on this map, you can afford it. So it's not as simple as just matching your opponent with a couple archers here. It's very different than that. And Hera loses his scout, and yet again here, guys, it's like passive opening from Hera. He's going to open archers, and Hearttt looking to be aggressive. And, like, Hera's going to really make him work for it here, but, like, Heartt's applying pressure, and Hera's just not expecting Hearttt to stay. Villager dead. Now, both players lose the scout. That is a huge deal when it comes to the range units. But not bad. Look at the resources collected already. That's just because Hearttt is just freely taking the shorefish behind. So now you can at least go for man-at-arms, and it's you have better resource control. If this was a map without the fish, I think Hera would probably take that trade a little bit more. Hera on the archers, worked hard to get there. We'll chase this down. Skirmishers there for Hearttt. Let's simply drop another mill here. And he follows it up with the skirm. So these skirmisher numbers are going to match Hera's archer numbers. And there's still then the man-at-arms. Guys, I've seen Hearttt in this position. Hearttt normally doesn't let this slip. Like, Hearttt is locked in again. Let's see if Hera can bring it back. None of this damage has been game-ending. You make one mistake, and you can have problems. But Hearttt has Arson now, and that range is a third of the way down as well. It lost 500 of its 1,500 HP already. Heartt's locked in. Hearttt is locked in. I mean, he can't lose his archer range. Has to repair it. The villagers are still exposed. Hearttt doesn't want to overextend or anything. And with skirmishers, you won't kill villagers quickly, but he just goes right back to the range. He's like, what are you going to do about it? You can't build a tower. You built a tower in the middle. Go ahead and sink some wood into repairs. Yeah, Hearttt goes side to side. Hera has to fall back to his sheep. Has to go back to repairing, but still very inefficient for him. So much micro from both players. Let's just do a shorefish check. We got Hera with 5, with 3. Here we've got 12 for Hearttt right now. Typically, you have to have more shorefish. Would love to see Hearttt snag armor for the skirmishers. Villagers on berries, not even close to the efficiency of the villagers on the fish and the villagers on the box turtles. But Hera's archer count, he's done such a nice job at keeping the archers alive. I think we might have had a drop or a lag there, guys. That looks really bad. What I think that is I think Hearttt kind of disconnected for a second or two. That is very uncharacteristic of Hearttt. That will be a donated unit. That is a unit that is already falling down. So he's like kind of dead already and about to collapse very dramatically. This would be really unfortunate for Hearttt. Yeah, Hearttt says, well, that's a shitty freeze. And Hera decides not to shoot that one man at arms. Yeah, so that was really bad. Respect. These two are obviously good friends. And so Hera just didn't snipe that other weak man at arm there to, I guess, even it out a little bit. I still don't think Hearttt loses any units there without that freeze. But what are you going to do about it? Yeah. It was very clear. Hearttt is that. He's that good. You just kind of know he doesn't make mistakes with his units like that. I wonder if there's a point where Hera can ever counterattack. Like, he's got his archers inside of the TC right now. When is he going to counterattack? Because if he continues to sit at home, he's getting the house right now. He's under a lot of pressure. Both his golds are here. His archer range is here. This is just not really a state of the game where you can come back. I see he's making militia now, and he's going for man-at-arms. That's definitely against the run of play, and that's not something that you would typically do here. But, like, Hearttt also can see that the whole way through. Hearttt can follow that. I kind of liked what Hearttt was up to, attacking the archer range like that. But yeah, Hera has just not had any control over this game. And as he goes for man-at-arms and armor, he gets found. And Hearttt just continues to pound on the door. Hera, it could get housed again. There's now some archers here from Hearttt. Like, Hera doesn't know what to do. And it's not like he just has this magic unit in the matchup that can turn things around. That's not the case here at all. Like, house is going to go down. Units are going to be through. Hearttt can win this game right here, right now. He's going for more man-at-arms. He's adding armor as well. We have another pause. I really hope there's no lag. Boys, take a moment.
Yes.
Double check that you paid your internet bill. Tell your mom to stop watching Netflix for a second. And just please fight this out. No internet dropping at play, please. Oh, God. Hearttt has gone too far. The armor is in. It's not in for Hearttt. Okay, it's close, but I think that's a really nice clear up from Hera. And maybe now is the stage of the game where Roman man-at-arms become a bit stronger here. It's really close. There's still an archer there. There's still some weak units. Hearttt will back off. But, I mean, at least for Hera, he gets to breathe a little bit. For Hera, it's one archer range. It's one barracks. For Hearttt, it's two archer ranges, one barracks. And Hera's also going for the stable to go for scouts. And two archers are going to go around the back. But yeah, Heartt's done the right thing. Like, he has more villagers on Shorefish. Hera needs to consistently do the same. But for the first time in the game, Hera will start to get some attacks on Hearttt that Hearttt isn't necessarily ready for. And I think the scouts, if Hera just waits there patiently with numbers, scouts can clear this on their own pretty easily. There's only two archers and two man-at-arms in there. I like the scouts. It's just all depends on how quickly Hearttt sees this. If Hearttt sees this right away, he can make archers, and then scouts don't look as strong anymore. Yeah, and he sees it. Man-at-arms have made it through. Hearttt was building a market. Nice damage from Hera there. Hera's also getting some damage over here underneath the tower. Hera will kill two vills. Hearttt keeps moving this way, which feels critical because Hera has a lot of scouts. This is working for Hera. He's killed a couple vills. He's still harassing over here as well. Yeah, now the scouts are going to come in. The scouts don't have bloodlines yet, but the scouts have enough attack upgrades and armor to maybe take the fight. Still, though, I think if Hearttt has all of Hera's army in the back of Hera's base, he's kind of okay with that. Like, that's kind of best case scenario. As long as Hera is losing the army that's in your base and you're on the way to Castle Age, you could still be in a really good position here. He does lose an archer, but he clears that. This other archer's still running around, then he's saving the Vil. And now he's always going to lose this fight. But at least he loses the fight on his terms in Hera's base. Yeah, now he's on the way up. Sorry, it's a long day of casting. My throat's kind of getting sore. Let me just drink some water real quick. And honestly, it's super even. I think Hera can play full knights to clear this. That's definitely an option for him. He just needs to get to castle. first time in the game that Hera, or really anyone, can use any mobility. Like, mobility is absolutely massive here. This is typically where I start to have a lot more confidence with Hera. I feel like the openings have been better for Heartt in both games. And that's not actually... Normally, their openings are actually pretty close. Wouldn't say that Hera's openings are his weak point or anything, but they're certainly Heartt's strength. Nice micro fear from Heartt to snipe the archer, and he still has some spearmen. And yeah, he pushes forward. I don't know why Hera was here exactly, but it feels unnecessary considering he still has so many fish back here. But maybe he's running dry. Yeah, and there's 15 subs bet that Hera will never lose a game. Hera and Leary will never lose a game this season. They're both undefeated. So this is for the subs right now, guys. Heartt doesn't really care about that. Heartt's doing it for the $30, but also maybe to steal first place from Hera in the group. And Heartt's up. I love this choice from Heartt. So he has some archers. He could easily go for crossbow, but it's still fairly costly, and he can't justify it. So he's simply going for Bodkin, and he's going to start to produce the cav archers right away. And with Bodkin arrow, Bodkin being in means Hera scouts do very little here. And remember, for Hera to go knights, he needs food. And it's not like he's farming. This is not a farm map. This is all about saturating the turtles. So this is a lot of time he's walking away. Villagers packing up their resources and going home. Also, Hera, he needs gold. And the gold is always on the front. Heartt saw that from earlier. Like, Hera, if he loses even one fight right now, his eco is so unstable, it can be game over. And Japanese cav archers can be really good when they get the mass as well. Honestly, with Hera losing most of these scouts, I think the key right now for Heartt will be to have a couple monks. If you have monks at home on your own shorefish, anytime Hera shows up with the knights, you can get the conversions. And almost on cue, he is going to be making a monk somewhere. He'll snipe the scout. Good micro. And here in the front, he's still microing the cav archers. Yep, snipes the first knight there. Yeah, this is where you need the monks. Monks are in queue. Couple spears wouldn't be bad either. But it's easier to mass the cav archers because you don't need the food for it. Food income is just for eco upgrades. And Heartt actually even going for a second TC in the north right now. But yeah, scorpions. Scorpions become the problem. Technically, you could end up converting the siege, but redemption is pretty pricey. A couple archers on the left side for Hera. Spearman could maybe be needed there. There's some weak knights in there. Scorpion will go down. At least I think the Scorpion will go down. Look at the confidence from Heartt today, guys. He's just like, maybe it makes sense to back up now, but he's never... Not that people don't respect Hera, but sometimes people don't have the confidence to ever go into engagements against him. And this is ridiculous. Hera was actually going to go counterattack, but now a knight comes in for his scorpions. He has to go for quick walls. He brings all of his army back. Knight in on the golds. Heartt gets another snipe. Needs to save the knight, though. Hera tries to block it. God, they're both so good. The level here is insane. Like, the way they operate with units is completely different than the majority of Age of Empires players. The Hera is going for the monk right there with his scorpions. And Heartt even saving that knight's ridiculous. But this could turn fast. Like, these cheap scorpions are strong, and Hera will go for the dive. He knows he has the monk on the run. There's no conversion. The knights will fall back. The cav archers fall back as well. Oh, this is so crazy. Yeah, and Hera's still got the shorefish. Hera's got the gold tier, which feels important to mention. Heartt still doesn't have ballistics yet. And Heartt is going this direction, so Hera might need to look. We go to the right side. You've got your opponent chasing you on the left. But yeah, you can lose scorpions. That was actually 2 scorpions. That was confusing. You can lose scorpions with Romans all day and be fine with it because they're so cheap. But you do still need to keep them masked up. Hera kind of overextends there. And Heartt has the monks ready. Monks are waiting for the knights all the time. This knight somehow made it through Heartt's quick walls. And every time the cav archers move forward, they'll run into another scorpion. But Hera's still taking risks to counterattack. Look at the micro again from Heartt. Dodges the units there. Gets conversions in the back. He does convert the weak knight. There were 3 options there. He converts the worst one. Still going for conversions here. We'll fight it back with the villagers. God, that's so tilting. To convert the weak knight is such a big deal. Oh, man. And now there's a conversion there from Hera. Or from Hearttt, sorry. On Hera. The cav archers for Hearttt are just going to go counterattack. Where there's like 7 villagers. Sorry, losing my mind. Game's even. 65 pop for both. They're both insane. Hera has to come chase this. That's the weakness of Scorpions, though, right? You can't run around the map and chase this. Oof. Heartt's units got stuck there a little bit. I just have yet to see a really big, massive cav archers for Hearttt. It feels very similar to the previous game, and he can never get the massive units he wants. He's trying, but, like, Hera still has just as many knights, and the Scorpions are always there. And Hera just cannot be killed. And the Romans have the 5% greater efficiency. The Romans have the super cheap Scorpions. And basically the only thing that was actually problematic for him this entire game was CA. He's dealing with that. And he's rolling forward with the Scorpions. Hearttt played so well in the early game. He was ahead. But 5% efficiency, man. And then you give that to Hera. And then you give you the cheap Scorpions as well. I think Hearttt needs some really valuable conversions to swing this game. If he's able to convert the knights, that can lead to a swing where he's able to then take out the Scorpions with the converted knights. But this is some major damage. Redemption's on the way for Hearttt to convert Scorpions. You're using 500 gold to research a tech to convert super cheap Scorps, which Hera can lose and have no problem with. And it's not really like converting mangonels where you can then use the mangonel to turn around and kill the rest of the army. Converting 2 Scorpions is kind of like, well, whatever. But he does convert 2. And he does actually clear it. And he saves the monks. That's not too bad. Damn. I thought when Hera marched in here that he's kind of unstoppable. I thought when he got the raid on the left, he would be unstoppable as well. But maybe he needs to keep these knights on the move. Redemption might change things as Hera drops a 3rd town center here. And just 1 Scorpion in the Siege Workshop for Hera. Villagers are leaving. I'm wondering how many knights Hera can actually make once he has to transition into farms. Because that's basically where we're at. He's got like a couple. But it's a massive drop-off in food. And Hearttt is diving. Hearttt will deny the TC. Hera's knights in the back will go in for the raids. And Hearttt has monks and cav archers waiting. Oh, so well played from Hearttt. He did get a conversion there. He's scaring the other knights away. He takes down a Scorpion here as well, and he moves out. Good moments for Hearttt. Damn, Hearttt just really needs ballistics right now. And Heartt's food eco is still only being propped up by this. I think Hera's looking for that, but he's just going to the wrong side. Actually, both players could benefit from ballistics. Ballistics applies to the Scorpions and the cav archers here. Hearttt will go for the Vil kills. It's the same thing as before. Maybe just need some patience, right? Like, you get the damage, fall back with your CA, and keep them alive. Give the cav archers a rest. Let them take a break, dude. So sometimes, and I think it depends on the player preference, but I think an underrated thing here is to prioritize a castle drop in the middle. There's so much wood, and there's the TCs there. Everyone gets fixated on the outside, but it becomes so expected to attack the outside. If you can just smash right through the middle. Sometimes people have a lot of eco there. Like Hera, for example, has 2 TCs here in farms. So I guess it's likely he prioritizes that even more. But guys, these 2 are unreal. And like, it's going so well. It's so close that it feels like Hearttt deserves a win, but that's not how this works. A lot of people can get close to beating Hera, but you have to actually win the game. But if Hera's going to beat a lot of the players in this group, Hearttt needs a win. That would, if he can bring this level in every other set, make me very confident he's in the playoffs. Yeah, Hearttt has husbandry. I was double checking there. He does have husbandry, which makes the cav archers a little bit faster than the knights. The eco upgrades are kind of brutal. He still has most of his food eco on the outside, but that's fine for now. He does have some farms. He does have some hunts. He does have different groups of cav archers still roaming around. And the game is become a bit of a macro game. If they're not microing all the time, they're macroing. Again, advantage Romans, though. Like, Romans, their eco cooks a lot faster than Japanese. Japanese feel like one of the worst eco civs right now. Hearttt will start to move forward. He healed up all the cav archers. He's going to group them up now. I think with Redemption, Hera cannot engage. Redemption is really bad. I don't see how Hera fights this. He can't engage with the Knights. He can't engage with the Scorpions. And if Hearttt were to bring Siege or something right now, this could get really dangerous. Why even go Siege? Just convert his buildings. One stable's being converted. Second stable's being converted. The Scorpions are being chased away by the one monk. Now Hearttt gets stables. If Hearttt gets the Siege Workshop too, it's really bad. Hera needs to delete. Hera has to delete the Siege Workshop. Oh man, Hera loses the monk. Hera loses the Siege Workshop, and now Hearttt can siege push both town centers with mangonels. Honestly, I think Hera should counterattack with the Knights. The Knights add no value right now. If you engage, you'll lose them. If you go counterattack, the cav archers and the monks might go home. Oh my god, and Hearttt got 2 more conversions. Oh, dude. And he's going for Rams as well. Can Hearttt do it? Can he actually win this one? Can he do it? The eco is just starting to cook up for Hera, though. That's the thing. Hera's worker efficiency is insane. His eco upgrades are insane. Hearttt is to work so much harder with the micro. Monks are so annoying to micro. He does get another conversion. He will take down the Scorpions. I would have liked to see mangonels here instead of the Rams. That way you could at least hit the TC from the other side. And Hera's on the way to Imp. And Hera's just basically holding. A lot of people would panic. And in this situation, they would overspend their res and they wouldn't go Imp. Yeah, Hearttt going for Rams. It just tells me not really sure what to do at the moment. The idea is there. Like, it kind of makes sense because you have the better army, but you can't actually fight with your Rams. Mangonels, you can actually use the range. That's just 2 wasted Rams right there. So Hearttt will see Imp pretty soon. And, yeah, I still don't know what Hera goes for, to be honest, but... Yeah, what does Hera do in Imp? You expect him to have a plan, but he's losing everything. He's losing his Scorpions. He loses Knights. Like, Hera's got 6 army. I don't know. It's a weird one, though, because Hearttt can't exactly kill everything with the army. Hera does have a castle back here. Maybe he'll start to stack a couple towers. I've seen this before. I think this army is not immediately doing any damage. There's no siege push on any TCs. It's not doing any significant eco damage. Hera can just avoid it. If Hera can just avoid it, and Hera can just go raid, he can just cook up on the outside. Heartt's wide open at home, and then Hearttt will panic. We have a castle from Hearttt, but it's not protected. Hera should stop this. The army is on the other side. Hearttt is panicking. He's panicking. He goes for the house wall. No! He goes for the house wall. He sends his cav archers underneath the town center to go defend. Not what he wanted, but he does get some of the quick walls. So he should be able to complete the castle. He'll kill the army. His monks are now exposed, though. And the cav archers might need to somehow come back. Hearttt just, I think, feels very uncertain on what to do. He couldn't push. He couldn't do damage fast enough to Hera, and Hera's eco is still untouched back here. He's in Imp. He still has so little army. He'll probably end up clearing these monks, but even there, the light cav got converted. And he is still losing lots of vills. I don't know what to think about this game. On one hand, Hera went Imp with no army, which is super greedy. On the other hand, Heartt's gone for lots of army, but he hasn't gone for Imp. Hearttt needs to find eco damage. I don't think he has any clue that there's this much economy back here from Hera that he can disrupt. But yeah, he needs to do that. And Hera needs to find a mix. He needs to find some counter damage. This light cap's killing vills right now. I mean, Hearttt will notice it, but that's a sign of things to come for Hearttt that he needs some castles at home. Monks will go down. I think it's safe to say that they paid for themselves. Hearttt doesn't really have the eco for Imp. And I'd argue that he doesn't have the army to protect the Cav Archers now because Imp Armor's in. And I just don't know if Hearttt has enough. He goes for the ram again from the forward siege workshop. Okay, he'll fall back to the castle. He did snipe some villagers on the left. Hera will clear that up with a couple light cav. He is going for pikemen, which is an excellent play, but he will need pikemen kind of everywhere. Like, Hera knows about this, for example, so he's gonna need pikes there. Quick glance at Heartt's economy. Honestly, Heartt's economy is looking pretty good. And, yeah, I think he can probably be up to 30 on food pretty soon. Castle Age pikemen with Japanese is pretty good as well, but Hera can just fall back and build a castle here and wait for Trebs. I think the deciding moment of this game was with the Siege Workshop and the push from Hearttt. Him adding like 2 to 3 rams that never contributed anything instead of going for mangonels. If he's on mangonels, I think the TCs are potentially cleared up. I think maybe this castle never goes up in this position. But right now, Hera has an easy game, right? All of his eco... Oh, God. All of his eco is so safe. And he can just patrol light cav to the sides and he'll always get damage. And if you lose light cav, whatever. Who cares if you lose a couple light cav? Doesn't matter. You can always produce more because you have more farms. And then Heartt's got a micro in so many different areas as Hera's eco just cooks up. Yeah, more Moreville damage there from Hera. There the pikemen defend. You're in this never-ending cycle of your Hearttt, and you cannot deal with these trebs. And Hera's starting to make right now. Still, though, like... I mean, it must be so frustrating if you're Hearttt, because this is 2 games in a row you've come so close. And for Hera, it's like... Someone asked about what's his kryptonite. People, you just gotta find that next little part of the push, and you can break him. But easier said than done. If people could do it, they would be doing it. Hera up to 60 on food, and I just... Oh, wait. You would need the Rams to do something. I didn't see the Rams. Hold up. Yeah, if he couldn't push this castle, it's game over. If he pushes this castle and keeps this castle up, we actually still have a game. There's still a castle in the back for Hearttt. He is still getting raided. Hera will bring the light cav in. Heartt's got the pikemen to protect. Hera's getting murder holes. The devs made this research faster to bail the pros out, guys. You heard it from me. Too many pros would never get it ahead of time. And so they said, okay, we want to see those techs in capture age. Pros never think ahead. So we'll make it research 30 seconds faster. Still not enough. And Heartt's coming in. What is this game? Perhaps it was the history between the two of them. Perhaps it was just what I've seen from Hera. But I really felt like he was just going to raid Hearttt to death and win the game. Hearttt is taking losses, but Hearttt is pushing. And pikeman and ram is actually doing some real damage right now. I mean, it's still tough for Hearttt. He'll still never get to imp. But I like the way things are trending up here, at least. The safe castles and the safe town centers are amazing. And Hera will lose 2 town centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 town centers on the outside for him. Hardy, add a treadmill, please. YouTube will appreciate that. Thank you. This game is insane. I thought it was over. Hera would need to go... Hera should be going for legionaries now. Like, you have food, you have gold. Your opponent is going pikes and rams. Legionaries would be the play instead of full light cav. If you can get to both, that'd be awesome. But the Civ does have a very nice option against this. And he's going to go skirms? Which reminds me when Hera was playing melee in Regicide Fortress. And he didn't get the unique tech to make the food two-handed swordsman. And he went for light cav. Old habits die hard for Hera. Not really the biggest infantry fan long-term. He's trying skirmishers, which doesn't give him an answer to the Rams. Hearttt is still pushing. Hearttt is getting guard tower. Hearttt is making progress here. And Hera cannot find an answer to this. He's just making the wrong army type. Roman skirmishers are awful. It's like bottom of the list of things that you would want to make here. The answer is it would be infantry. It would be barracks. Against pikemen and rams, I'm not sure how legionaries would do against Castle Age samurai. In theory, maybe you would have some problems. But I still think they do pretty well. Hera is getting this castle. It feels like the sides of the map are so important right now, right? We're trending in the direction where Heartt will need to expand this way. Hera getting this castle up will secure the stone and the gold. I guess, like, in theory, Skirms and Lycav can clear this. But these are Castle Age Rams, guys. I think initially Heartt thought he was dead, just like I did. And now he's like, wait a second, dude, is he throwing right now? Another castle from Hera. Castle should complete. Again, he's really good at not being broken. He's still building up the army, still hoping to hold. A castle here is just too tough to push with Castle Age Rams. There's too much commotion here. But you might be able to push the town centers. What is this game? The tower should do a pretty good job at holding this. And we have a pause now. Making sure I didn't drop. Chat, you can hear me. I think everything's good. Perhaps a tech tree pause. Maybe Hera's wondering about this tech, how much it costs. Maybe we have a lag issue again. Okay, Hera says, sorry, go. Kind of felt like a tech tree pause from a player who's like, thought this game would be over with Skirms and Lycav and isn't entirely sure what his options could be. University going down is not a big deal. He's still going to hold the grounds here, but it will take time. Heartt gets horse collar there. Just realized he didn't have horse collar. He didn't have hand card either. But I mean, Heartt's fixed his economy, which makes me think we're going imp. So even if Hera clears up the Rams, Hera has done no counter damage to Heartt whatsoever. And Heartt has time to maybe stack up some castles in different positions. Hera doesn't have any siege to push this back either. He's just now making a trebuchet. He will get Blast Furnace now. And there goes Heartt on the way to Imp. Guys, you know what Heartt needs to do? I think he needs to continue with Samurai. He's got 3 castles. The castle in the back feels really awkward. But yeah, go full Samurai and full Halb in the next stage. Just continue more of the same. But he's got to wait a long time. Eventually, Hera gets the numbers. Eventually, Hera drops a castle. Hera still has so much stone secured. Like, so much stone, so much gold in these areas. And there's still so much left on the map. He also will reclaim the relics. And Centurions, they're good enough against the Castle Age unit, no problem with imp upgrades. I still think, though, that like Legionary and Siege Ram is better. He might not need it. He can win without it. But I think that is what the Romans are kind of built for. It's a very easy switch for Hera, considering he already had Man-at-Arms. He could get the armor upgrade, and then he'd be set. But, yeah, he just feels a little bit more comfortable with the range units in there. I'll post on the right side from Hera. I want to check vision real quick. He's starting to get back into his groove. This is the groove that I thought would win him the game. He doesn't actually know that Heartt is down here. I guess Heartt was down here. And then Heartt doesn't have any clue that Hera is here. And they're about to find each other on the sides, but Hera will drop a castle there. I think Heartt can deny that. It's funny, Heartt is going to counter castle a castle that's being built by 3 villagers. Hera will just cancel. But that's a lot of Samurai, dude. That's a lot of Samurai. Hera's not canceling either. If he commits to this castle, that could be denied. But Samurai can't push this castle. Oh god, there's castles everywhere. Hera still is 1,200 stone. Yeah, Hera didn't notice. Nice reaction from Heartt. I swear, if Hera doesn't make Legionaries, he deserves to lose. Like, Legionary, Siege Ram, Heavy Scorpion. Like, there's so many different things that you can be considering right now as the Romans. Besides Skirmisher. It's tech tree. It's disservice to the Roman tech tree. There we go. He's thinking about it. Okay, longsword. Yeah, and now his resources are banked up. And now he's dropping the siege workshops. Yeah, both unique techs should come in. Ballistas is huge. And also Comitensis is huge. I think he will have an issue engaging against this. without the Scorpions and without the Legionaries. I think Samurai should still shred Legionaries, but Samurai are going to shred Skirms as well, so yeah. And more castles. Here are the Samurai with their flags as they charge for the raids. But Samurai don't have great Pierce armor, so raiding underneath castles is extremely difficult. Raids still will get some damage done, and I mean, Hera's just done a great job the whole game. He's done a great job at staying alive. But can he win this game? Can he finish this game? He's playing like he's trying to outlast the opponent. Waited till the opponent runs out of res. He certainly has more of the map, and Hearttt will run out of gold faster, but Hearttt is starting to mass Trebs, and Hearttt will start to make a push for this corner, I think. The Samurai will take down the Monastery. Remember, every win is so valuable. Sure, if Hera loses this game, he's probably still going to get more wins. He'll probably go playoffs. Who knows? But, like, for Hearttt, this is an hour-long game. You have come back. Like, he was dead. He looked dead when Hera was in him. You've held on. If you win this game, this just matters for so much. It can be tough. As someone who's played with the Romans many times, it can be tough to know on an open map where to go with the Scorpions. You've got, like, Siege Workshops over here. You've got Siege Workshops over here. But, man, once you get, like, 10 of them, Samurai should have no business being anywhere near. But, guys, the Trebs are pushing for Hearttt. Hera will lose this castle. Hera will lose ground there. Hera's getting raids on the left, though. For the first time in a long time, Hera's getting the raids. There's still no castle over here for Hearttt and no recognition of the raids. The Samurai are diving, but Murder Holes is in. And Samurai do not have the Pierce armor to be tossing underneath castles like this. Hera will repair with some Vills. The Samurai are going down, and the Villagers are going down in Heartt's base. Expensive losses. Hera also has Scorpions patrolling. He's patrolling the Trebs to take down that castle. I think we'll be fine with losing that castle because he's done enough counter damage. Castle is 26 kills here. Japanese just... I think after Samurai, what do you do when the Romans have Scorpions out? When there's castles everywhere. You can raid as effectively because your cav is worse without the armor upgrades. You can engage against Scorpions. You don't have bombard cannons, for example. I think Hearttt realized, like, he couldn't get away because he was probably going to lose that army. He just tried his best there. He will drop castles in the back. He will still try and hold, but this game is trending Hera's direction. Hera will take down another castle in the middle. And he's got crazy Scorpion numbers. Remember, they fire faster and these Scorpions are cheaper. What you would need is you would actually need Onager, which is just super slow and expensive to get into. You either do that or you just hope the Samurai can take the fight, basically, which is what he's going to do. They can charge in at least, so they can get it. They can close the distance fast. I don't know if that's really worth it. Considering the cost there, I guess Samurai aren't that expensive. They'll come in again. Heartt's still doing so many other things, right? He's looking over into the right side where Hera's going for raids. He's still stacking castles in his base. I think he does want Onager because I'm seeing the Siege Workshops. But that you just can't get anywhere near this. It's not like it was before. But I really think at this stage, Romans are just better. And maybe Hera's just better, right? Castles are everywhere. The position's certainly amazing. He's got 2 relics versus 1. Extremely difficult for Japanese to deal with civilizations that can outrange unit them. Like civs that have superior cav archers, which is... Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Hearttt is actually going to try it. Okay, so they nerfed the siege tower. The only way that you can get infantry close to the Scorpions would be to siege tower them next to the Scorpions, which Hearttt hates, I guarantee you. Like, Hearttt is pissed. Heartt's like, I can't believe I have to do this. But they nerfed it. It's still viable. You could put 10 units inside, and it might actually be the best way to get in close to the Scorpions with the Samurai. Again, because I don't think Onager is actually a good play. On paper, yeah, sure. You know, if you're fighting in one spot, Onager should work. But Onager would just get sniped by Hera's light cab every single time. in practice, it's just too slow and it's too clunky. Siege Tower actually has some viability here. But, like, there's still 19k gold left on the map. I feel as though it's split 50-50. If they were to run out of gold, maybe then the Japanese become superior because they get Bracer. Because their skirmishers would be stronger. The Trebs get sniped. I'm not sure what those Trebs were doing all stacked up like that. Maybe that was intentional from Hearttt. But get ready, folks. I want to see some choo-choos in chat. Win or lose for Hearttt. I respect the fact he's trying this. Again, they nerfed it. They're not nearly as fast now. But it might still be a viable play. Hera thinks he has this game won, no question. Get the choo-choos going. Hearttt is going to roll through the base. Or not really through the base. He's going to roll into the heart of the Scorpions to clear this. I mean, if he clears it, maybe it works. Choo-choo! Here we go, dude. Again, it's much slower than it was before. It's hilarious that Hera doesn't say anything. He's probably can't believe that it's Hearttt that's doing this. But okay, one siege tower down. Oh god. Well, that was an attempt. The siege towers died. The Scorpions are now feasting on the samurai. And yeah. Now he tries Onager. Bro. The order of events there is hilarious. Oh, that had to be the saddest Onager click ever. Oh my god. That was so funny. I mean, again, that is maybe the next best thing. I actually thought the siege towers would perform a little bit better there myself. He is still pushing. He still has resources. He's still fighting. He still's got chances here, even though Hera's got all the gold in the world. And he will drop towers. He will go for Trebs. If he can start to take down Hera's castles, that's always going to be a good thing. But Hera is still pushing into the heart of his base. Heartt's Onager upgrade is over here, by the way. Kind of important, though, on the timing on this. Because if he lands a shot while Hera's distracted... I mean, it's just so awkward to defend the sides with Scorpions. You can push one spot. Okay, Hearttt, go now. Go now. Produce. 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 Go. Splat. And wait for it. 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 Oh. Oh my god. Dude, a few more of those, Hearttt. A few more of those. I take it back. Onager's a great play. That's a good shot. Hera saw it. Hera microed it too. The towers are definitely a good factor, a good play here for Hearttt. If he can keep that up, Scorpions can't even move in towards it. And guys, this banger of a game continues. Hera's got a lot of eco over here. That is 40 villagers that do not have a lot to protect him. And more Onager shots coming in from Hearttt. The Scorpions are becoming less of a factor for Hera. We're starting to see why Scorpions are problematic, because they're kind of a liability at a high level. In many situations. I'm apparently dropping on Twitch. YouTube, are we good? YouTube chat, tell me if you can hear me. I'm recording just fine. Oh no, my stream's gone down, I think. Oh, you're kidding me, man. Oh, you're kidding. Wait, YouTube, can you actually hear me? Can you still hear me? Say Pickles if you can hear me. Because it's saying my stream is down. I don't know what's happening. Pickles. You guys are saying Pickles? Okay, are we back on Twitch? Twitch is wondering why I'm saying Pickles. Refresh. Are we back? YouTube's been live the whole time. Tell me if you can see me, please. Tell me if you can see. Please subscribe for free with Twitch Prime if you can hear me, Twitch. Please follow. Please call your mother. You haven't called her in weeks. Okay, we're back. All right, perfect. Yeah, so we're basically what we missed was Hera lost some of his Scorpions in the middle. He lost a little bit of ground on the left, but is holding. This is maybe one of the best games of TTL so far. But Hera is aware that Onager is in, and that should not be as surprising to him now. We've had some crazy plays, though. He's gone for the little wall around the treb. I still feel like in these games, it's all about who ends up having castles. And Hera just has so many more castles. And Hera now has Legionary as well. Heartt's got 3. And also in these games, it's about who is gold, which Hera has the most of. And Hera also has the relics, which has helped with that. Yeah, you cannot play Halb and Onager if the opponent has the Legionaries. Legionaries will kill the Halb. And Hera will start to take care of these towers. Yeah, guys, that was... Twitch just went down. So, it's been more stable since I switched servers, but that was... I'm not sure exactly what that was. Sorry about that. Imagine, though, like... You know the taunt. You played 2 hours to die like this. Imagine being Heartt right now. He's played so well today. I mean, this game, it looked like he was completely dead, and he's brought it back. But still, it might not end up mattering, at least for these first 2 games. Like, he's brought such an insane level. He's brought Hera to the limit. In this game, I would argue Hera's stubbornness with the technologies was maybe a little bit of the reason why Heartt was able to come back. Like, Hera going skirmishers up against pikemen was pretty bad. But, like, also, I think Hera's just playing safe, you know? And just playing extremely safe when he knows he has the lead. I think if you were to ask Hera, he'd say this is pretty much game over now. He'll try Elite Centurion. He did get this tech, which would apply to all the units he'll be making here in a second. And yeah, without one big Onager shot, even with Heartt's population being as good as it is right now, I think it's going to be extremely difficult for Heartt. If you clear the Scorpions, and it's just pure Samurai Halb engaging, a very winnable fight. Again, the Onagers, though, there's only 2. It's so easy for Hera to run in and snipe these. Heartt goes for attack rounds. The Onagers will focus some of the Scorpions behind. There's 1 Onager remaining. The 1 Onager is still firing, but yeah, they just get sniped. They both lost a lot of population, though. Heartt did have some raids going on in the middle, which Hera didn't notice. So Heartt actually has the bigger Vil count right now. Heartt will drop more towers into this corner and house wall it. The dude's not done. He is not done. He's going to continue. And he does have Onagers here. And Hera could lose those Scorpions. And right when I think it's over, Heartt finds another gear. Respect, dude. I respect him a lot. So many people could look at this and be like, yeah, whatever, it's Hera. Don't even fight. Don't even grind. Don't put yourself through this and just win your other games and get the playoffs anyways. This is what it's all about, man. This is what it's all about. Never give up. This is war. But you need this castle. Like, losing the entire left side of your base would be brutal. You need this castle. And you need to deny this castle from Hera, too. There's still some golds here for Heartt. I don't know. It seems like he's losing pop. Hera's got 74 on food. And Heartt calls the GG. What a game. What a game. Thankfully, the recording is salvaged for YouTube. This series has been unbelievable, man. I mean, 2 teammates, 2 players that know each other well, and holy crap, has it been an even matchup. I do think on some level, on some tiny little level, maybe Heartt is gaining confidence for future sets against Hera. And I say that because the drafting has been for Heartt. It's been all early game civs for him. Like in the Mayans matchup, it was like win the game fast or else. And in this matchup as well, it also feels the same. And I kind of get it. Like, when you're up against Hera, you feel like you got to kill him quickly before the game goes late, which is true. But maybe you can't change this series. There'll be one more game. But maybe you have to start having faith in yourself and pick the civilizations that actually have a comparable late game to the civilizations Hera has. That has been a distinct advantage for Hera. Amazing play from Hera, right? Like, there's no doubt about it. Hera's playing like an absolute god. Oh, man. I mean, we forgot about Castle Age. Castle Age, I think Heartt's had some opportunities with the Siege Workshop he converted. It doesn't look like the same world anymore, but I think there he needed Mangonels. Mangonels against the TCs. Made like 3 or 4 Rams at a time. That was pretty expensive. But, I mean, what a series. This is delivered. Well played. Hera remains undefeated. Amazing speed and activity from both. And the next game still will happen, and the next game matters just as much as the first 2, all right? So for Hearttt, you've lost the first 2 games. I'm sure it's exhausting. None of that matters if you get this next win. If you get this next win, you're pulling up in the group of death. You get better. You get into a better position than the rest of the group. Probably tough to catch Hera if Hera continues to play this well against everybody else, but at least you can get top 3. So what I've just learned, YouTube, is that 2,000 people were asleep when my stream dropped on Twitch. I know that because we went from over 4,000 people watching on Twitch down to 2,200. So to everyone who falls asleep to my videos on YouTube, understand that you are apparently in the exact same boat, all right? Maybe it's a Twitch bug. I don't know, but I'm feeling kind of crappy about that. I guess I should probably just be happy with what we've got. We got Hearttt playing as the Vikings. Now, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have said this was a horrible decision, but they've changed water balance. And so the civilization that once only really had galleys to fight for on water now has galleys. They now have hulks. They also get fire ships. What they do not get is demos. And that's not exciting for viewers because viewers like to see the big booms, but demos might not really have as much a place in the balance right now anyways. So they just end up utilizing the cheaper warships, which can be huge on a map like this. So I like Vikings. I like them a lot. And Viking economy is always very strong with free wheelbarrow. The Viking economy is one of the best in the game, and it's just a really tough map to get right. Do you want to snowball advantages on water? Or go for advantages on land? Now, this is Hera's home map. I'm trying to remember how Hera played this, but to be honest, I think this will be one of his toughest tests on the map. He goes for Italian, so they're also good on water. It's cheaper to go up to the next stage and cheaper on water as well. I think typically you'd see Hera lean a bit more into the water control on a map like Nomad or like well, obviously Islands, but just like there's been examples of all these guys really prioritizing the fishing eco. But if you lose your wood line in front of your TC, you don't really have a lot of wood to work with elsewhere. So if you try and play this like other maps, my point is you might be in a really bad spot. Pretty good starts for both of them. I think they've got the rhinos and the elephants evenly spaced. And both players adding the fishing ships behind. Who did Hera play? I think Hera played Yo on this map in the first rounds. And that was when Yo... Honestly, it bothers me so much to say what Mr. Yo tried in the first round. I'm not even going to repeat it because it still tilts me. Someone needs to bring up something else so I don't even think about it. Anyways, whatever Yo did was just horrible. I think maybe in practice, if he had practiced it at all, I think maybe it had some potential, but he was down 5 economy in Dark Age, so... But yeah, there in that game, Hera went for the hybrid approach. He went for the water. He went for the land. So, probably wasn't the best test of if that he could make that happen, but... it's still, I mean, Mr. Yo still gave him a tough time in Castle Age. And we did see the weakness of Hera not having a lot of land control there, so... JBR. I am not making a llama noise, okay? Here, hold on. I'll make a deal with you. Every time we see Incas played, I will, every time we see Incas played, I'll make a llama noise, okay? How's that? Because they get the free llama. Deal? I think that's a reasonable deal. Unless they make a balance change and fix the Incas. Because I doubt we're going to see Incas played unless they make a balance change. Because right now the Incas are insane. If you want to see what the Incas would make, we have the new Champy emote, which looks freaking horrible. Hera bringing in elephant number 2 now. Hera just found Hearttt stock, so he knows Hearttt is pretty much on the opposite side of the map. You always know where the town centers are going to be, so Hera should know that the town center will be something like this. Hearttt is not really scouted for Hera's dock, but I don't think he really will be surprised to know it's on the other side of the map. And Hearttt brings in Rhino number 2. Populations are even. Build orders are even. Only slight difference here is that maybe Hera ends up getting the second dock up a little bit faster, but... It might honestly just end up doing the same exact builds. They both might feel like there's only one way to play this map. I still think there's an argument for Fast Castle, and none of the Platinum guys have figured it out. But you know how it works, right? Until someone does it and gets away with it, nobody's going to try it and take the risk. But like Fast Castle into winning water, in theory, should be really doable now because you can garrison your docks. What's the range on the dock with the arrows? Okay, so you have 6 range. So hear me out. Let me cook. When people are trying Fast Castle right now, they're going with the docks far apart. And if you garrison inside of your one dock, it is minimum range, so they can just surround it, and your arrows don't hit. And that's why people don't do it, because then their fishing ships are just inefficient, right? But if you build your docks close together, so if Hera were to build his second dock here, obviously it's less efficient long-term for the fish, but you can have garrison from here and garrison from here, which means that he can't, like, really surround both docks. And that actually changes nothing, because then you still can't fish, and they still would just camp your fish. Okay, never mind. Don't let me cook. Yeah, I don't think that actually changes a ton, because you still need your workers to work. But, I don't know. There's definitely something to the double docks garrison maybe on other hybrid maps, like High Tides. Hera's doing what Leary did the other day. And he goes for these big circular walls in front of the woodline, so the woodline can't be harassed. The only other person I've seen do this is Leary. And Hearttt is playing it pretty much like everybody else. Hearttt will be in Feudal Age a full minute faster with the Vikings, but I wouldn't expect any galleys. I think we're going to see Hulks here. Technically, galleys are better than Hulks, but I think it just takes so much time to master the galleys. The same rules from before apply, and wow, galleys. Okay. But you know what I wouldn't hate? You could maybe go 2 galleys just to snipe fish, and then you play land with archers. Now, I don't like galleys because you oftentimes have to go from separate directions with these docks. And galleys, like one galley on each side is kind of awkward. So one dock has to go the long way around. So if anything, maybe you think about that with your initial dock. Old school meta, galleys here would take too long to mass, and it would die to fires in messy games. But then again, Hera's not really pressuring. And Hera's going Hulks, which should be kind of weak against galleys. I don't know. Oh, wow. First time chatter on Twitch. Welcome. Welcome, Enchanted Nipple. Thank you for the kind words. He said, I just tried the strategy you suggested against the easy AI, and it worked great. Hashtag viable. Oh, I love the internet. Thank you, Enchanted Nipple, for your insights. Finbib, thank you for the 5 gifted, though. Thank you also for not having a name that has nipple in it. That's really helpful. All right, so we got the hooks versus the arrows. Hera sees the galley opening, which I don't think he was expecting. And now he's going to go for... well, actually, he queued up fires, and then he canceled them. Hera is going Fast Castle, so he has to wait. He's got 1 archer in the range, and he's on his way up. So far, Hearttt hasn't been able to kill too much on water, but he's here with the galley. No fletching yet. And again, you can now garrison the docks. This is new. But, of course, that's idle time. Hearttt will chase down the Hawks. Hearttt will come in with another galley. Hera sends the fish back to work, which Hearttt needs to stop. But players at this level are so good at immediately punishing, right? Which is why I don't think we see a lot of fast casting, because they can get the value. But as we have another pause, apparently they've been lagging a little bit. I gotta say, look at the details here. I swear this whole garrison thing, especially with super defensive players who just want to be greedy, is going to be so good. Look, he saves the weak fish. The other fish go back out. Here he's going to save the weak fish as well. And it's just in and out so quickly. Yes. Hera does have a Hulk counterattacking, which may or may not do much, but... The micro's got to be perfect for Heartt. And honestly, it kind of is. I know Hera was the one who paused there, but he didn't send the units back to work. The galley's still moving around. Hera saves what's rest of the galleys there, and now there's a weak galley there from Heartt. And Heartt should be able to get another one. The Hera's still being chased down by the Hawk there from Heartt. So the fishing ship kills are working, but you can't forget about land on this map, right? And that's super easy to do. Hera still only has 2 archers, though. And Heartt's got a stable? That's interesting. Heartt's got a stable. And Heartt still doesn't have fletching, but I think the galleys without fletching look pretty good against the Hawks. Thank you, Atleus, so much. Yeah, you're welcome. It's been hard to have YouTube content be as consistent because of Titans League, but having so many people watching, supporting the event has been awesome, so thank you. Guys, Heartt is a 4-0 KD, which is an awesome start, but he's 2 minutes away from the next stage, and there's a couple archers out here from Hera. This could be really awkward. But it's going to be full Hawks for him. Hera's still going for Hawks. Isn't it supposed to be fires, though? Like, maybe he didn't go fires because it's supposed to be fires against galleys, but I think then if he does that, then his opponent goes Hawks, and then the Hawks kill fires. So I think in Hera's mind, he's like, screw it, I'll just make more Hawks. If I get the upgrades, I could just use inferior units to outnumber. Something that I'll take getting used to is the updated graphics when a ship gets upgraded. Like, Hera's Hulk is a little bit chunkier right now. The other thing, too, is they have ship upgrades in the university. But Hera loses more fishing ships over here. But he still has crossbow. And, like, Heartt can't take wood consistently right now. That's kind of a big deal. Hera's wood line's been walled up. Hera's wood line's super efficient. And Heartt's forced into a tower here. I think Hera's fine. He kills a couple vills. Heartt misclicks. Oh, God. He misclicked. He gets the garrison, but yeah, for every fishing ship Hera's lost, he sniped a villager. And Heartt just cannot take that forward wood line. This is a brutal spot to build a tower, too. It's not even protecting the front of your base. Game's even. That's what Castle Age can do. Kill the fish. Heartt doesn't see it. So 12 Hawks for Heartt. It's 9 for Hera, but Hera can always produce a few more. Heartt has to get his upgrades. Heartt will need some time to get out across the map. Heartt is going to go Knights with the civilization that is seen as one of the worst Knight civs in the game. I mean, if it does the job, if it clears up the crossbows, it's good. But if Hera ever notices this, Hera is not going to be too disappointed. You just need to group up your crossbows. This is fine for Hera. These crossbows already paid for themselves. So he can just get the clear up here. Hera even snipes the villager as they're on their way down. And now Hera just knows to back up. But, oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, Hera had kind of stacked up there. I thought he lost more units than he did, but he did lose a lot of HP. Again, technically the way it's supposed to work is Hera's supposed to go into galleys here. But this isn't a water map. It's a hybrid map. And Hawks are just better. It's kind of like Fires before. It's just a little bit easier to use this unit while also needing to prioritize something else. Honestly, Hera does not have a lot of crossbows. I thought he would fall back and wait for monks or go double range or something. So if Heartt sees him, and that's kind of critical, 2 knights can kill 5 crossbows, no problem. Hawks are on the way through. 1 fishing ship lead is not that significant for Heartt, but if it's a 5 or 6 fishing ship lead, then it's pretty significant. And he uses the Hawks. Does get forced away down here. Does send the knights this way, but the crossbows for Hera... Oh, man, the crossbows for Hera are still there. These are the original 2 knights, though. Hera will have a monk in a second behind. Heartt needs to notice this. They're still microing on water, where Heartt is out hulking. The garrison will happen. Hera will get another Vil kill, but the knights should clear this. Still. And the knights over here also died at the town center. There's so much happening. There's also the ships engaging over here, which Heartt will win. But Hera's still looking good on land. He'll lose the crossbows. But he's still super well defended on land. I love Hera's position. And I think this is the stage of the game. Like, right now, it's like, whatever. Who cares who has water as long as you win land? If you win the middle, you win this map. But you do need food eco for that. Hera gets really close. That's really smart. That needs to be a delete. Delete every time. And yeah, Hearttt deletes it. So Hera gets close to the knight before converting. That way, Hearttt didn't have enough time to get away. And then Hearttt kind of hesitated. Reach says, the question then is, why is Hearttt mixing in Hawks when he's producing the counter? Because galleys need to have, I'd say, 10. And they need to be microed perfectly with pretty much all of your focus for them to be an effective unit. And you cannot invest into 10 more ships right now and also apply micro. Like, it's already so difficult. So in this situation, similar to fires before, you just have to stay on Hawks. You're ahead of Hera already. This is good. But the land is getting worrying now. And the monks, dude, the monks. Oh, man. I mean, I don't know. Every time I look back here, it looks like the monk is doing something. My worry for Hearttt is, what is his army composition going to be on lands here? Like, Viking Knights, they don't scale at all. He does add the scout to snipe the monks. So that's one snipe. But he also loses 2 knights here. He even kills one of his own units. And now the converted knights from Hera can just take the mangonels. One of the most confusing maps as well when it comes to score. You look at the score and you think Heartt's winning. But look at where they can actually take resources. Like, Hearttt is nowhere near the middle hill. But to be fair, Hera probably could have done a bit more to secure the hill himself. But I think Hera is really comfortable right now. Hearttt will repair his mangonel. Hera's microing it. Hearttt ran out of res. Hearttt ran out of res. He ran out of res again. Oh my god, he ran out of wood to repair his mangonel after running out of gold. That's brutal. He went to the market 3 times there just to get both of the resources he needs to repair. It's just a sign of the situation he's in. And now Heartt's probably like, well, damn. Because Hera doesn't need to fish. He's transitioned into the land. He's on crossbows. He's on the monks. He's getting the relics. He's 3 TCs. Hearttt is on 2. Normally, I'd say, like, play crossbow now if you're Hearttt. But a player never really wants to commit into something that their opponent is already ahead in. And it takes a long time to tech switch. Like, he doesn't have Bracer, or I guess Fletching and Bodkin. I think he needs to catch Hera out, find some monks, snipe those, get a big siege shot on some crossbows, and then, yeah, also maybe have your own monks nearby so you can get your own conversions. But Hera's just so locked in right now. Hera, well, not as locked in as I thought he was. But I think Hera thinks he's won the game. And Hera reminds us that crossbows don't counter mangonels. He actually was converting a couple hawks here on the shoreline. So you go back to the early stages where Hearttt was producing Navy, and Hera didn't have the numbers. And Hera, oof, another big shot, my god. And then Hera was taking the lands control with the archers. I mean, okay, Hearttt. Okay, Hearttt. Okay, Hearttt, hold up a second. Hold up. Hera's lost all of his crossbows. Hearttt is advancing up the hill. Hearttt still has the water control. He still has all the positives of the Vikings, like free wheelbarrow and free handcart and whatnot. And Hera doesn't exactly have a lot of army right now, so... made a really nice micro to come back into it. Again, Viking monks just kind of suck. Just like the Viking knights. But at least the mangonel can work. Oh my god. 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 No sanctity. They were all standing right next to each other. He is getting redemption, though, so he can convert that in 15 seconds. Hera's still converting boats right now. Yeah, and you will not one-shot the monks up the hill either. So once redemption's in, you can't really do too much about that, and oof. Do Vikings get atonement? Can you consider that? He has to delete the mangonel. That's brutal. That's just brutal. I don't even know. It's such a weird thing to even go to the Viking monk tech tree. They get atonement? Okay. So Vikings convert people to other religions? I thought they just said, like... I thought they just killed people. I didn't know they were peaceful about it. Okay. Well, I mean, you could try that. You could go atonement. And then you could try and convert the monks, but then the crossbows are still out there, and then... Yeah, Hera's pushed him all the way back here with the monks. Hera's got a comparable economy. Hera has an actual scalable army composition. And Hearttt will hop out with light cav here, but that light cav's not enough to snipe the monk if the crossbows are there. Unless he micros. Nice micro. This is just a never-ending struggle for Hearttt in terms of army composition. He needed to switch a long time ago, and now Hera stole his stable. Ugh. I think for Hera, just click him from here. You're in a good position. Get to the Imperial Age. Heartt's not really that close. Continue with the army you have. Like, Heartt's trying to... You never want to be fighting Mangonel against 4 Redemption Monks. But he has to try. And Hera won't... Hera's not committing to the conversions, weirdly enough. I think Hera is hoping he's going to delete it or something and is clicking them away. Not sure. I still think Hera just showing signs that he's extremely confident. Nice micro there. Obviously knows Heartt's going to go for the shot, and more units are coming over to the right side. And Hera's on the way to Imperial Age. I think Hera was onto something. This is his #1 civ. Italians are maybe the best at that combination of land army and water. Vikings are maybe one of the best at water. But, like, the land military is still a massive question for them. Even with the recent changes, right? And as I've been saying, like, for the majority of the casts I've done on Stranded, you can lose water, you just can't lose water fast. And so Hera, he forced Hearttt into lots of focus and extra production there on water. And then he fell behind on water, and at that point, it was fine. Makes it look so easy, of course. I don't know, guys. With this result, Hera will have to play Sizcon, who has 2 wins in the group, and is kind of that next-generation player who would lack confidence. And then he has to play Vinch. We've never had a player go undefeated in TTL. Never has anyone gone 15-0. Do you think Hera can do it? Because Hearttt was one of the... I mean, Mr. Yo was supposed to be a tough test. He beat him 3-0. Hearttt was a tough test, but it's about to be 3-0. And, like, Sizcon's probably not the guy, just based on confidence, though I think he's been playing very well. Oh, God, Hera is underneath Heartt's TCs. I don't know exactly what's happening right now. 1 villager castle. Crossbows are underneath town centers. I mean, Hera is, he's confidently walking forward right now. He just lost all of his army. Did we just jinx him? Nah, I don't think we jinxed him. I think the 1 villager is actually the hero he needs. And the GG's called. Yeah, honestly, this is Hera's home map. This is Hera's #1 civ pick. You expect Hera to win this one. For Hearttt, you look back to the other games and you think, what could have been? This is a 2-hour play all 3, which is what we scheduled for with some of our sets. We don't always get the 2 hours. But holy, what a series. Game #1 for Hearttt. I mean, Hera just kind of read him like a book, expected he would pick Mayans, and Hera eventually won with the Ghulams. Game #2 was a banger, but again, eventually just hit a wall. And here as well, I think for Hera, it was just kind of perfection in terms of balancing out, prioritizing land. Just not sure about that stable there for Hearttt. Maybe he did... Maybe it made sense for if he was going to have the food eco from his eco, but I think he'll regret that. I would have liked to see double archer range as well. Then you have the fish boom, you have free handcart, you have good economy. Maybe you can beat the Italians to imp. But again, Hera's home map just is what it is. So yeah, and in game #1, when Hera was losing villagers, I made a bet. because we've never had anyone go 15-0 in group stage before. We've had people come close. I made a bet with a viewer here. If anyone goes 15-0 in group stage, I'll give subs to the stream. And then if that doesn't happen, he'll give subs to the stream. Pretty nice bet for me, to be honest. I appreciate him taking me on for that. But yeah, Hera looks good. And now Heartt's not loving life with the way these wins are shaping up in the group. Let's check this out. So we have, guys, this is going to spoil the Yo Vinchester series from earlier. So if you were going to VOD watch, just keep in mind I'm about to spoil the result from Yo Vinch, okay? I'm going to wait for you guys to have a chance to, like, get up from your computers or get up from your couch, all right? Just going to wait, like, 10 seconds here. But we know 3-0 for Hera. Hera's 9-0, 90% locked for first place. Wins still matter for him. He's not locked, and $30 per win. And also, I mean, it's Hera just straight up hates to lose. Why would he ever? Hera plays Sizcon next, who only has 2 wins, so Hera big favorite there. The big one is Hera Vinchester at the final week. Vinchester's doing very well. Vinchester beat Yo 2-1 early on. So Mr. Yo is actually kind of struggling. Honestly, I think Yo could have been swept there if things didn't go slightly different. So right now it looks like Hera first, Vinchester second in the group. Hearttt and Yo are only at 4. Which means, you can forget the names, just think about the potential wins. Lucho and Sizcon, if they can snag some wins, they can survive this season, which didn't look likely after the first 2 weeks. So, I mean, I think it's tougher for Sizcon because Sizcon has to play Hera yet, and then Hearttt looks really good. So he also has to play Hearttt. But there's something about Lucho's playstyle. I think Lucho can take games off of Yo. And Yo also only has 4 wins so far this season. And who knows, maybe if Lucho can punish Vinchester's greed a little bit, like, a lot's possible here. Remember, bottom 2 get relegated down to gold for the next season. 4th place is just simply alive in platinum. 2nd and 3rd place go into playoffs. And then 1st place goes into playoffs directly into the quarterfinals. So, yeah, GG.